everyone, and welcome back to So Biased. On today's video, I'm going to be starting a 1940s capsule wardrobe, and with that, I'm going to be making a 1940s style wrap dress. I filmed this back in August so that I could make a light summer dress, and the results turned out really well. It's the first time I tried a PDF pattern, and I'm super pleased with the results. I'll provide links below to where I got the pattern, and you can have a laugh at all of my struggles and poor decision making. But for now, let's get sewing. So here we have the entire pattern for the 1940s wrap dress, and this is the end of it. You can see at the beginning, this one I really like. So they have the test square, so you measure to make sure it's 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters so that the scaling of your printer is correct. And they have a US letter size, and they have an A4 size, and they have an A0 size if you want to take it to a print shop and get the big ones made. This is my first attempt at one of these PDF patterns that you print at home. And I'm really excited to see how this works. And yeah, let's do some cutting and some taping and so the pattern is all cut out, and it took a really long time. And this is the fabric I have. It looks really blue, but it's actually kind of purple. It's a bamboo jersey, which is it's actually quite stretchy, and it's so soft. Oh my God, so soft. This pattern does not call for a jersey or for a stretch, so this might end up being problematic on a number of levels, including, oh my gosh, I saw this, bias tape, because I'm stupid and apparently was evil in a former life and need to pay for it now. Okay, so I finished cutting out all of the pieces. Oh my God, the jersey. It is so stretchy and rolly, and seam finishing is going to be a thing. Oh, someone wants to say hi. Yes, do you need some attention right now? Yeah, apparently so. You being cute? So this is the waistband, and oh my God, the notches on this thing, guys. So we have skirt dart notch, we have bodice dart notch, and then again, and then we have side seam notch, we have, gathering notches, then we have like all of these sizing things. Oh, wow, that's a lot of notches. So step one on this pattern, there's a bit of stay stitching, which, oh, don't look, it turned out so bad, is these darts. So the shoulders have two big darts in them, which give you that kind of flowy look, which is very, very 1940s. So we did them on both shoulder seams. So we have the two darts there. So you have a dart there. Yeah, you can see, because you can see all the places where I didn't trim my threads. And another dart there, and then some stay stitching around the collar. But yeah, so that is the back of the bodice, and then the front of the bodice has the pretty darts. Oh, I'm liking it already. This is reason number one why jersey was a poor choice. So this is one of the collar pieces, and I have a very light fusible interfacing on the back. However, getting the interfacing on was a nightmare, because this piece started out like this. So I've had to pin the whole thing to my tailor's ham and iron it on like inch by inch. I have regrets. Oh my God. And so I have to pin every bit of the length and then iron it on so it will adhere, and then it will lay flat. But every single hem wants to curl under. This is going to be a pain. Also, it is the hottest day of the year. It's so hot outside. Oh my God, it's so hot. And I'm ironing in my house with no air conditioning. Why do I hate myself? It's so hot. Is no joke. Yes, I'm Canadian. Don't come for me, people, in like actual hot places. but it's like 32 degrees and I'm very uncomfortable. I'm delicate. Bodice sewing continues apace. I have sewn the shoulder seams together. This one isn't super specific, so I had to check the picture that you're actually sewing the collar piece into the shoulder seam. And then it says to overlock or zigzag all of the seam allowances. I do not have an overlocks, and zigzag is great for stretch anyway, so I'm gonna zigzag all of these seams. The collar pieces are only tacked on, and then you do the bias tape on the edging. And also there's, I assume, going to be some gathering down here because they ask you to do some gathering stitches at the bottom. Bodice is coming. Yay. Oh my god, and it's so soft. I love it. It's bias tape time. The rolling. Guys, the rolling. I have figured out a solution to the bias tape problem. Quilting stuff. So I have my cutting mat under here, and I have my ruler, and I have my rotary cutter. And so rather than cutting them out of the pattern, which is not going to happen, I'm just going to cut strips. I have it lined up on the bias, cut off a straight edge, and then I'm just going to cut strips this way out of a salvage piece that I have and sew them together and do that because, oh my god, ain't nobody got time for that. And then we're going to bind the collar with it. So the bias tape thing was moderately successful, but I managed to get it all sewn on, and then the next step is to whip stitch the whole thing. So I am moving on to the sleeves. So the sleeves have a slight gather at the top, so you have the two gathering threads, and they ask you to do a 1.5 centimeter turn up. I wanted my sleeves a little shorter, and so I did a larger turn up there. And then I decided to deal with some of the curling issues. I did some really nice top stitching 1 centimeter apart. And now I am going to try to attach the sleeves. So now we're on to the skirt, and the skirt is pretty simple, except for since it's a wrap skirt, it has this one kind of like open edge. You get a front left piece, this is the front right piece, then you get a back piece. And so the front right piece has this bit of facing, and I'm doing it a little differently because of the jersey. The original facing was like quarter of this size, and you just kind of stitch it, like top stitch it down. And I did a very wide one, which is now folded right under, and then I'm going to top stitch this in place just to give it, I don't know, a little more body, a little more weight, just because I'm worried that this is not going to hold up. So I am going to pin all this in. It's folded double under itself, you can see. And then I'm going to pin it in place, and then I'm going to top stitch on the other side. And yeah, and then I'm going to sew the 3 parts of the skirt together. So we are finally at the waistband, and I figured out what all of those markings mean. They're basically marking off every point that you're meeting up. So you have your notches in the back, or your darts rather, sorry, in the back, then your side seams. And this one was handy too, is because there's gathering seams at the bottom of the bodice in the front, and it basically says, here's where you start, here's where you end. So you gather up in between until it makes the right space. So we have this gigantic waistband, and all my gathers, and all my darts, and now we're going to sew it on. This is the final result. It turned out really cute. It's a little bit big. If I were to do it again, I'll probably take it down a size because it's got a little bit of extra baggage going on here. But I really love, and ignore the stain. I really love the pleating because you get a good sense of how much room there is in the bust. And then just the final details were stitching on the binding for the collar, and then slip stitching the inside of the waistband, and then I just sewed on just a couple little snaps. One at the waistband where it meets, and then another one here on the inside. But it is so comfy. Oh, the fabric is super lightweight and breathes so well, and it's a super hot day, but I barely feel it. And so I did a little 40s hairstyle. For those of you with straight hair that will not curl, there is a hairstyle for you.
If you ever go down Trinidad, they make you feel so very glad. Calypso sing and make up rhyme, guarantee you one real good fine time. Drinking rum and Coca-Cola, go down Point Cumana, both mother and daughter, working for the Yankee dollar. Oh, beat it, man, beat it.
So that's the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the process and the end results. I'm super pleased with it. It is so comfy. I'm wearing it all the time now because, ugh, the softness. I'm going to be doing a bunch more videos on the 1940s capsule wardrobe, and I'm going to be making a lot more pieces that are either 40s vintage or 40s inspired for a capsule wardrobe. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. Please comment. I always love to hear from people. If you're working on something, please let me know. If you have a suggestion for a new video, please let me know. And until then, stay safe, stay happy, please take care of each other, and see you all soon. This is some sketchy setup. This is gonna fall over. Whoop. Focus. Focus. Come on. Focus. On task. So, bodice sewing. Bodice sewing. Who am I suing? Meh.